penalties are in response to alleged cyber attacks carried out by Russia during the presidential campaign. For a closer look at the sanctions and how the U.S. is confronting Vladimir Putin's government in the cyber age, we're joined by Kimberly Marten. She is a professor of political science at Barnard College, Columbia University here in New York. She's also a specialist on U.S.-Russia relations. Also with us is James Norton, president and founder of Play Action Strategies, a cybersecurity firm. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
James, let me start with you quickly. What appears to be a hack of a Vermont utility that we're now learning about through a report in the Washington Post today. What do you make of that? It's being attributed to Russia.
Well, I think that overall 2016 is going to be the year that the U.S. government and Congress woke up to the fact that we are under cyber attack. And I think that the reporting last night of the U.S. Electric grid in Vermont basically tells us that, we are vulnerable and that the electrical grid is vulnerable. And the fact is they've been here for a long time and that this is something that has occurred over the last number of years and that systems like SCADA need to be secured and that, we need to really take a hard look at this. And I think the report that was released by the Department of Homeland Security and Department of Justice essentially tells us that here's a smoking gun. We do have adversaries that are out to take down the United States and its electrical grid and these type of things. And so it's really a big warning shot for all of us.
Kimberly, these sanctions against Russia, do you think they're enough, and are they solid enough to really put the pressure on the Russian government?
A couple things to think about. The fact that the code was released allowed the Vermont hacking to be discovered, and so it's already had that positive impact. Also, talking about what Russia is doing and attributing it to specific Russian intelligence agencies can empower our allies like France and Germany and the Netherlands, who also have their electoral systems under attack, to similarly report things and take action. There are limits to what the U.S. can do. We obey international law, so we can't go around hacking the Russian civilian power grid. And so as a result, we have to take small steps. But I think these small steps can have an impact, and I think they might actually lead to an agreement with Russia under Trump.
Agreement regarding what specifically?
Regarding cyber activities. We saw in 2015 that when Obama threatened sanctions against China and named and shamed the people in the Chinese military intelligence organization who were responsible for some hacking in the United States, we actually seemed to get some movement from China on limiting that hacking and on reaching an agreement with Obama to limit cyber activities because they realized it was in both countries' interests not to have these very dangerous cyber attacks happening. And now, with an incoming president in the United States who wants to have cooperation with Russia, maybe we can convince Putin to do the same thing. So maybe Obama actually gave Putin and Trump a gift by introducing a possibility for this new kind of agreement.
That's interesting. James, you worked at the Department of Homeland Security for many years. I was struck by this statement that was released jointly by Intel officials, and it said that this Russian election hacking was part of a decade-long campaign on cyber operations targeting U.S. citizens and the U.S. government. Is there a sense in the intelligence community that enough hasn't been done over the past decade for this particular issue?
Yeah, so the report that was released by Homeland Security and the Department of Justice was really a significant release, and for the first time, I think DHS, along with the FBI, is able to really stand up there with this report that says, hey, look, we're under attack. We have adversaries here that want to do us harm, and that, there really is warfare occurring virtually. Electronic warfare is real, and I think that, this is a warning shot for everybody and an absolute wake-up call for us to look to secure our networks nationwide. And I think that, even last night's reporting is just tip of the iceberg in terms of the electrical grid and things like that, and especially citizens. A massive education campaign needs to occur in 2017, and maybe that's something that the next administration will look to do. But individual citizens, governments, especially state and locals, we saw the National Guard being called out, to try to secure an election, and that's probably not the answer. And so, how we fix this, I think, is a step forward. But I think that the paper essentially gives Congress an opportunity to move forward.
All right, James Norton, Kimberly Marten, thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.